End of an era. You guys see the title. You know what this is about. And everybody has questions. People that were loyal to my channel, that watch bull hauling videos, trucking videos. First, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. I mean, I love making videos. I do it more for myself. I do it because I enjoy doing it. When you guys comment, like, do all this other stuff, makes me feel good. But you guys obviously want to know why I'm getting out of not just bull hauling, but trucking in general. And for those of you that are watching because you want to do all your research, you guys are just like me. Before I went into this, I was looking at everything from how people got into it, why they got into it, what it was like when they were in it, what it was like going through training, what it was like switching companies, and what it was like getting out and why people got out. Because everybody's story is different. Some people, they just can't cut it. Some people, they just don't like the industry. Me, I put in 7 years. I was good at it. I made a lot of money doing it. But it just got to the point where I didn't want to do it anymore. And to kind of understand the whole process with this, because there's a lot of things that go into it. So I think to kind of understand this whole deal, we'll have to take a trip back down memory lane, and I'll tell you guys a story. And stick around. I'll make it pretty interesting if I can. But just bear with me here. So we'll go back to college. Graduated in 2009 from Wyotech in Laramie. Graduated from collision refinishing, majored in street rod custom fabrication. Before I went to college, I worked at Warner Body Shop with Bill and Troy. And if you guys see this, I love you guys. I mean, I doubt you guys will ever know this thing exists, but Bill and Troy, awesome people. When I worked there before I went to school, I figured I was going to be sweeping floors and watching and learning stuff. Well, they had me right in there, tearing stuff down, showing me how stuff come apart. And they even got me in there in the paint booth, and I was blending panels. It was insane. It was cool. But because of that, I was set so far ahead, at least in the refinishing part of it, when I went to school. And it was awesome. I did very well in school. I had a lot of really great job offers all over the country, but there's a big problem with that. These shops wouldn't pay for you to move. Once you got there and you stuck around for 90 days or whatever, they give you a reimbursement of some sort. But the fact was, I didn't have the money to move. My family didn't have money to move. I didn't have a rich relative. I didn't come from any sort of money. I was a pretty poor boy. So come back home, and we looked around at different body shops, applied everywhere I could think of, and was always met with the same thing, just couldn't afford to put anybody on. Is what it is. Went and applied at the shop that I really didn't want to work at, and they ended up being able to put me on. And so it was what it was. I was making less than what you'd make flipping burgers at McDonald's, and even now, there's a massive wage difference. It's a lot worse than what it should be. And I know even now, with a little bit of experience trying to work at a body shop around here, you're making less than what you'd make working at McDonald's, which is sad. You got a college degree, and you're doing hard work, and these other cats are going to be making more than you. It is what it is. But I went and worked at this shop, and from day one, there was a guy there that made my life a living hell. The way that I was trained in school was the same way that my dad did it, the same way that Bill and Troy showed me. But just one guy in particular would sit there and scream at me. If I didn't do things exactly his way, I got yelled at. And he made my life miserable, went out of his way to do so. I hated it. It killed my love for doing that, my passion for it. And then another guy came in later on when the boss broke his hip, because I got along with the boss really well. But this guy, it was kind of the same deal. He'd scream at me for doing things that other guy's way. Want me to do things his way, He would leave, the other guy come back in, scream at me, say, well, that guy hasn't done it in so however many years and doesn't know what he's talking about. And it was bad. Yeah, it was bad. We left that and went to work for Mike and Teresa again and became a butcher. Had a full service meat counter, cut everything in front of the customers, cut everything to order. And when I put in my first week there, I thought, it's something I really like. And just like with everything I try to do, I wanted to be the best. So I went and stood in at regular butcher shops, slaughterhouses. I bought books, read books, watched videos, because I wanted to be the most knowledgeable guy out there. I wanted to be able to tell you everything about what you were going to get and be able to have the knowledge that comes along with everything that I'm going to serve you and sell you. So we had customers all over the state of Nebraska. We had customers from out of state that would come a couple of times a year to buy a bunch of the meat in bulk. Had all the restaurants. I learned how to use a forklift to unload truck. I learned how to work on the compressors, learned how to deal with the point of sale system, how to do ordering, everything. I wanted to make myself the most valuable asset that they had. And they floated this couple from California, and if you watch my videos about the anxiety stuff, you heard me talk about them. They're the most evil people I've ever met in my life, the worst human beings I've ever seen. I hate them. I really do. But they came in, they cut my buddy Chris's hours back, kind of forcing him to quit. Threw a lot of stuff on me and all the other employees. They didn't want to work. They took company money to buy a brand new pickup, and they took big trips every weekend, and then would sit and scream at us like we're the problem. People would literally walk in, go back, get the meat from me, go pay, and go, leave. So I ended up getting to the point where I couldn't take it anymore. From them screaming at me after hours, behind closed doors, threatening my job and everything else, and I just quit. I went to the competition, and my customers followed. As a result, these people could not get any more funding from a warehouse or from anybody, banks, doesn't matter. So we were going to get everything back. And at that point, I was so excited. It's like everything I've been through in the however many years, everything was going to finally work out. I was going to get a raise. I was going to get paid salary, have 2 weeks paid vacation. I was going to finally be on solid ground, doing something that I like doing. And anywho, 2 days before we were supposed to be done, 2 days before we're supposed to get everything back, they sold out to the competition for what they owed. Nothing we could do about it. So I did a resume. I typed one up. I did a cover letter, everything. I went all around the state of Nebraska. And most people heard about the situation. They expressed their condolences, and I got 1 of 2 responses. It was either, we can't afford to hire you, or you're overqualified for what we do. I was heartbroken. I put in all that time and effort into being the best. I put in all that time and effort into being the top guy that everybody was going to want, and I have nothing to show for it. I worked my tail off, and I have nothing to show for it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I cried. I was devastated. So I took a long, hard look at my life and everything that I wanted to do, and I kind of come to the conclusion I just kind of wanted to get away, wanted to clear my head. You live in a small town, you got things like that go down, people are going to talk, and with my anxiety and everything else, I couldn't do that. I couldn't be around that. So a couple of years before, I got offered a job to learn how to drive the trains. I don't remember if that's an engineer or what it is, but they'd send you out to Boise, Idaho. You go through their class. They stick you in the train, teach you the ropes. And Well, that ship had kind of sailed. So my uncle's been trying to get me to drive truck for years, so I jumped on it. I did my research. I researched companies. I wanted to haul cattle. I couldn't get into that right away. So flatbed was the next best thing. So I researched schools. I researched companies. Went to Northeast Community College here in Norfolk, Nebraska. Beat Ryan Cook's first full-time class. Great instructors. Then jumped on a bus, went to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Went to orientation at Belton Truck Line. And orientation was like a tryout. It was high stress. They sent people home, but you learned a lot. You learned a lot. And my trainer, Frankie, who actually just retired here a couple of days ago. So Frankie, when you see this, man, I love you, brother. I'm happy for you. Congratulations. You deserve every little bit of this retirement. I hope you enjoy it as much as we hope you do. Frankie was awesome. Great trainer. Like I say, still one of my best friends to this day. Had a great driver manager on both the rookie fleet and the big boy fleet. There were issues there with the outside repair, with the front office, it is what it is. I mean, big companies, you're going to have these issues. Whatever. I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm not going to trash a company because of it. It is what it is. Put in my time there, and I went to go work for Hens Trucking out of Odessa, Nebraska for Rod Hens. Was treated very well. I got no complaints about that. I did not really like the guy that managed the shop. I don't think he's there anymore. But the techs that he had working under him were top notch, grade A. They could go into any shop across the country and take that thing over as far as I'm concerned. Great people. Very intelligent, very knowledgeable, very efficient. Rod was a good guy. Todd, his brother, was a good guy. His boy was a dispatcher. He was good. Rudy was great. They kept me busy. Hauled a lot of pivots, a lot of shingles. The home time deal was great with them because I actually met the woman who would become my wife while I was working there. And I'd stay out for about a month and a half, come home for a week. Didn't bother them at all. As long as you kept in communication and let them know what was going to happen, it was cool. But it was just a culmination of me wanting to be home a little more with her, wanting to go haul cattle, and they switched contract up at Valmont. So instead of hauling a lot of pivots, we were hauling a lot of parking lot light poles, and the stress with that really didn't work with my anxiety problems. So left there, had a lot of good job offers from a lot of cow hauling outfits. But my uncle was working for a guy out of Bassett. And he kept begging me to call him. I didn't want to. I'll be honest with you, I didn't want to. But I finally did. And it's kind of funny, we were both on the fence about each other. He was on the fence about me, I was on the fence about him. Not really going to get into why, but it's both about the same reason. But we talked a little bit, and it kind of come to the conclusion that I'd take a cut in pay, which was fine. But he was going to go out and get me a truck and everything else. And he was going to come down to the valley to meet me, which was great. That's what I wanted to see. Because all these other guys were willing to hire you over the phone, which I'm a little leery of. He was willing to come all the way down to see me. And that really impressed me. So I took the cut and pay. I was supposed to haul bull rack out the gate. That didn't happen. Ended up getting put on a hopper. Hated every second of the hopper. But I stuck with it because I liked Jeff. And eventually we got to go into hauling the cattle. And it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Hauling cattle is definitely the funnest thing that I've done in this industry. But all good things got to come to an end, right? So I want to kind of lead with this. I'm not quitting all of this because I'm mad at Jeff or because I'm mad at the guy that dispatched us or anything like that. I want to be home. And I told you that whole story here leading up to this, so you guys can understand that this isn't something that I worked forward to my whole life. This is something that I did for mental health and so on and so forth going up. And I put everything I had into it. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to run harder. I wanted to run farther. I wanted to be able to work on the trucks. I wanted to be able to get out of trouble with DOT. I wanted to be the guy that could train. And I was all those things. I got paid very, very well to do this. Very well. When the rookies came in, they got put with me because I could teach. I could teach them how to drive. I could teach them how to haul cows. I could navigate. When they would send a group of us somewhere, they didn't know where they were going, they would rely on me to figure out a pin drop or to figure out how to get there. If they need to know a goat trail to get around the scale, I was the guy. If these dispatchers needed guys that could keep their nose to the grindstone and have to be up for way longer than you're supposed to be, I was their guy. You know, granted, there's issues with trucks here and there. They're machines. They're going to break down. You know, and none of that was the cause of the boss man or anything like that. You know, Jeff was one of my best friends. I mean, it hurt to do this. But I got a complex, and that complex is that I don't know if I'm too empathetic or what the deal is, but I always try to put other people before myself. And just here this last year when I was looking at it, looking at myself, I got a baby on the way, my first child. I got a wonderful wife at home that I never get to see. And I was tired of it. I was burnt out. I didn't want to be gone anymore. I want to be home. And that's how it works out. So like I say, I'm not getting out of the business because I'm mad at anybody, because I'm unhappy with my boss, because like I say, I love Jeff like a brother. I'm not doing it because I'm angry at a dispatcher. You know, it's not because of any of that. It's just because I want to be home. Because I want to take care of myself now. I want to take care of my family. I want to be able to enjoy my wife, be able to enjoy my child. And I don't know. 7 years I put in this business. I'm in all the lower 48 states. I've been across the northern border, across the southern border, seen both oceans, seen this nation's capital. I mean, I've seen this whole country through a windshield. But now I want to see my family through my own two eyes. Not just over a phone and through pictures. As far as what's going to come with the channel after this, I'm still going to do things. I think we're going to do that Jim's World thing. Try to get better with that. Where I'm going to have a little more time being home and everything else. Hopefully we can do some fun stuff with the videos. Because doing it in the truck is hard. But we'll see how that comes out. And as far as what I'm going to do, now that I'm not going to be driving a truck anymore, well, I'll have that in the next video. But I just want to say again, guys, I thank each and every one of you for watching, for all you guys that subscribed, all you guys that like the videos, all you guys that comment. I love each and every one of you. I hope you're having a good day. Thank you.